Good afternoon, dear viewers. Thanks for joining us on the midday edition of the News on the Fred Afrique Television. We are broadcasting to you live from Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. We begin in the central region of the country, where the Prime Minister and Head of Government, Chief Dr. Joseph Dian Gute, yesterday, November 3rd, 2020, chaired a video conference cabinet meeting with a focus on the 2021 state budget. And according to Prime Minister Chief Dr. Joseph Dian Gute, the focus of the 2021 state budget will be on security, given that the crisis in the English-speaking regions and the jihadist threats from the northern part of the country remains a great problem to the country. In the health domain, members of the government also stated that Cameroon has recorded over 20,000 coronavirus cases since the outbreak on the 6th of March 2020 in the country, and more than 420 deaths, stating that the virus still remains a serious threat. The government stated that it looks forward to strengthening prevention of the virus, as Minister Dr. Manauda Malashi says it remains the safest measures to curb the spread of the virus. Onto the Bambutus division in the west region of the country, a man we apprehended as Ferdinand allegedly set his family residence ablaze while being conscious that his wife and children were in the building. And according to neighbors who were eyewitnesses, he is reported to have been threatening the life of his wife and children for their constant disrespect and malicious act of stealing from him. His wife and children are currently receiving intensive medical attention at the hospital. Amongst his 6 children, 4 are reported to have survived with massive burns, while 2 were fortunate to have been outside at the time of the incident. While his wife and kids are currently nursing wounds and pains in the hospital, the perpetrator is under detention and in Buda Gendarmerie. Trying to defend himself, he told the police that his actions were due to the lack of respect his wife and children often showed him. 11 teachers of the Presbyterian School, Kumbu's northwest region of the country, have spent a night in the hands of kidnappers after they were taken from their teaching post yesterday, November 3rd, 2020. The population of the Bui division in the restive northwest region of the country is asking for the release of these teachers after gunmen dispersed the students unharmed and made away with the teachers. The moderator of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon, that's the PCC, Reverend Funky Samuel, has confirmed news of the kidnap, revealing 11 teachers and management staffs were amongst. And according to locals, the Presbyterian School Kumbu is one of the few schools that have been functioning in Bui division. The management of the school has been threatened severely by boys who identify themselves as separatist fighters. Security forces in the division have currently launched a manhunt to get the kidnappers. The incident comes barely 2 weeks after 7 children were brutally murdered in one of the crisis region, Kumba's southwest region, though the national and international community have called for an end to the attack of school authorities and premises. Separatist fighters keep seeing the school as a major threat. Ugandan opposition leader and popular singer Bobi Wine has been freed after a brief arrest by the police. Wine had been taken away just after he was confirmed as a candidate in the next year's presidential election. And according to reports from the scene, the singer was put into a police van amid violent scuffles between police and his supporters. Wine on Monday had gone to the nomination center in Kyambogo in the capital Kampala as Uganda's electoral body started the nomination process for the presidential candidate in the upcoming 2021 general elections. Police are said to have fired tear gas to disperse his supporters who turned up to support him on nomination day. Bobi Wine presented his nomination papers to the Electoral Commission to be cleared to challenge President Yoweri Museveni in the next year's election. So far, 10 aspirants are vying for the top job, including former Army Commander General Mugisha Muntu and former Security Minister General Henry Tumukunde. It is noted that President Yoweri Museveni, who has ruled for the country for 34 years, was the first to be nominated. He warned that any opponent who would destabilize the country will be dealt with severely. Rival Libyan military officers began talks November 2, 2020 on home soils for the first time following a ceasefire agreement last month, discussing implementation of the deal. And the three-day meeting of the Joint Military Commission took place in Gademes, a desert oasis some 465 kilometers southwest of the capital Tripoli. The meeting follows on October 23rd deal when the two warring factions signed a permanent ceasefire agreement intended to pave the way towards a political solution to the country's grinding conflict. Libya, with Africa's largest proven crude oil reserves, has been racked by conflict for nearly a decade since the overthrow and killing of dictator Muammar Gaddafi in a NATO-backed uprising in 2011. The talks are part of long-running efforts to broker peace, as on November 9, the political leaders are due to hold a face-to-face talks in Tunisia. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for staying with us through this edition. At 7 p.m, another edition of the English newscast will be broadcasted to you. Stay tuned and we meet tomorrow exactly at midday. Until then, have a good day.